So just a quick one to how to get your skew back. We know on a cambered arch, your skew back is 60 degrees. So if you were to go up 300, which is the size of our arch, the height of our arch, 4 courses, and you went out 300, you would have a 45 degree pitch. Because whatever you go out, you go up, is 45. Most people know that, I would think. But one quick way of working this out, because your rise of your cambered arch might be different. It could be 5 courses, it could be 6, whatever. So what you do is whatever your rise is, divide it by your degree, which is 60, and you'll end up with 5. Now, this, as it currently stands, is 45 degrees, as we just said. Now, 5 45s is 225. So now if you set from your corner to 225, and you go up 300, you get a 60 degree angle. Now, if we'd have started this the other way and we'd have said, right, 225 along and a 225 rise, we know it's 45 degrees. And we know if you take a third of 45 is 15. 45 and 15 is 60. So if we know it's 225 horizontally, we know then that we want a third extra because that's 45 and that wants to be 60 degrees. So all we have to do is add on a third, which would be 300. So in the previous part of the video, I showed you how to get your 60 degree angle for your skew back. Now I've marked this out with masking tape because quite often you do things like this on ply and you try and video it and it's not very clear because the pencil lines don't show as well, and it just makes it difficult to understand. So I've done masking tape for the purposes of this demonstration. It's not something I normally do. It is just purely, I've done this so it's clear to see for you all. Now, with this skew back, if you continue that line all the way, and you've got a centre line, where the centre line and the skew back line come, obviously that's your point of radius for your, to put your string line on for your voussoirs as you go along. Now, when you're setting out this cambered arch, you've obviously got a key brick, which needs to start with a full voussoir. Now, you also have to have a full voussoir at your skew back point. So therefore, you need an even number of voussoirs up to your key brick. Now, as you can see, I've only actually set out half the arch. Because if you cut right-handed voussoirs, all you have to do when you've cut your template, which you'll see later in the video, all you have to do is flip them. And then obviously as that flips, as a mirror image or a butterfly wing, so to speak, you'll end up with the same size. So therefore you only need to cut half. It saves half the work, so it makes life a lot easier. So yeah, so in a minute, we know we need an even number, and then we got the key brick, and then the same even number. So we know we're going to have an odd number. And I've got a 1460 arch. So 31 doesn't work because it will give you an odd number of voussoirs the either side of the key brick. So it's got to be 33 or 29. You know, just a bit quick maths. So we'll do that calculation now. So we've got 1460, as I said, and we've got 3mm gauge joints. Now, when you gauge brickwork in between 2 points, you're left with one extra joint. So to save confusion and make the sum easy in life, we take one joint away, which then leaves you with 1457 because we've got 3mm gauge joints on this. So, as I said, you either have to have 29 or 33. Now, if you go 29, at the top of your voussoirs, they're going to be too big to get out of a rubber. So, I've worked it out to be 33. So, we've got 16 left hand, key brick, 16 right hand. Now, I've calculated this on a calculator because even I'm not that good at maths. And it's come up to 44.15. Now, I'm not going to be able to split that to 0.15 of a millimetre. No one is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 15 either side, and I'm going to have 1mm larger voussoir either end on the skew backs, just to make life easier. So there you can see I've gauged along, and I've gauged the voussoir at the top. But what you've got to bear in mind is you can't pull the string through for the joint like that, because obviously it will widen at the top. So you mark where the voussoir is, and then you can mark where, so that one's cutting, you see, just inside the line there, and then I can mark that just inside the line there, and I know that's the voussoir. And then obviously I need to mark these with a 3mm joint. So these are the voussoirs all marked out. As you can see, as I explained earlier, you've got a full one at the key brick, and you've got a full one at the skew back. Now this is a 4-course high, so it's 300. So these are set at 98 up and down, and allowing for the joint to be 101 in total, which gives you then a 199 voussoir as a full length. So now our next step is to cut these out and to mark them up. So I write it all out, mark each one up, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, and then when I cut them out on the reverse, it'd be L1, L2, L3, L5, as I explained with the doing a half and then flipping it over to get the full length. And hopefully it's making sense to you. It's hard to explain, because what you've got to bear in mind sometimes is I've got knowledge of it, and so I might, you can accidentally skip a stage which you assume knowledge of people. So hopefully everything is making sense to you all. So this is half of my arch cut out. I'm just going to cut all these by hand now, and then I can take them down right down to the line with a bit of flat sandpaper. But I mean, this is what I've cut out just with the rail saw for now, but this has got to be a little bit more fine-tuned. So I'm going to cut these now, and I'll mark them up as I said as well, and you'll see 1/2 cut. So as I said, all marked up on one side, and then once I've cut them, I'll mark them on the other side. So this is just to avoid any misunderstanding, and they're all in order. As you can see, I've cut them relatively neat, but obviously you still got to take that sort of last 1/2 mil off. So the best way is just to set yourself a dig up and just keep there until you get to the line. As you can see, I've got a piece there, so I can put it against and then just hang it over. But yeah, it's a bit of a painstaking process, but if you want it accurate, that's what you've got to do. I mean, obviously you can see I've still got a little bit left on there, still got to take off, but that one is taken down to the line now. There you are, that's it, all done. It's got that top one. And that's that one done. Oh, right. So this is the right hand side, all cut, rubbed and neatened up with some sandpaper. And what I'll do, I'll flip it round the other way now and show you that it works left-handed as well. So here we are. This is the left-hand side, and as you can see, all I've done is flipped it round. So that was that side just a minute ago. So you only have to cut 1/2 and that's the template for the whole 1460 cambered arch. One thing I haven't mentioned as well is that you need to put 1 mil of camber for every foot. So this is 5 foot, well, just short of 5 foot, but bearing in mind it's cambered from the centre. So you need to be about 3 mil in the middle over the course of 5 foot. So that'll be the first foot will be 1 mil, second foot 2 mil, third foot 3 mil, and then it's back again down to 2 and down to 1 because it's obviously cambered.